find out everything about the mighty Germanic god of thunder, Donar, whom we mostly remember today by his Norse name, Thor. Long before Thor's hammer struck the silver screen, there was Donar, the Germanic god of thunder. His name echoed through the dark forests and misty valleys of Europe, carried by the rumble of distant storms. To his followers, Donar was not just a god. He was the heartbeat of the sky, a protector, a warrior, and the eternal enemy of chaos. The earliest tribes who worshipped Donar lived close to nature, where the forces of wind, rain, and fire were both terrifying and divine. When lightning struck an oak tree and set it ablaze, they saw not destruction, but a sign: Donar's power at work. His name itself, Thundras in Proto-Germanic, means thunder. Over time, he became Donar to the Germans, Thunar to the Anglo-Saxons, and Thor to the Norse. But before the myths of Asgard, before Valhalla, there was an older, earthbound god, the Donar of the Germanic tribes, whose worship stretched from the Rhine to the North Sea. Donar's weapon was his mighty hammer. With it, he shattered mountains, slew giants, and kept the forces of chaos, known as the Jotnar, from breaking into the mortal world. Legends say that when Donar rode his chariot across the heavens, pulled by two fierce goats, lightning flashed from their hooves and thunder rolled in his wake. Each bolt that split the sky was Donar's hammer striking his enemies. Each peal of thunder was the echo of his victory. To Donar's worshippers, the oak tree was sacred, tall, steadfast, and unyielding, and across the Germanic lands, oaks were seen as living symbols of the thunder god's strength. One of the most sacred was the Donar Eiche, the Donar oak, said to stand near the town of Fritzlar. There, the tribes would gather beneath its branches to make offerings, food, animals, and sometimes even human sacrifices, to honor the thunderer and seek his protection. But the world was changing. The old gods were fading as a new faith spread through Europe. In the 8th century, a Christian missionary named Saint Boniface arrived in the region. He came to spread the word of Christ and to challenge the old gods. Boniface found the sacred oak and, in front of a crowd of Donar's followers, began to cut it down. The people stood in silence, waiting for the inevitable, that Donar's lightning would strike him dead. But no thunder came. No wind howled. The oak fell, and with it, centuries of faith. That moment marked a turning point. The fall of Donar's oak symbolized the end of the old Germanic religion and the rise of Christianity in the north. Yet, though the sacred tree fell, the spirit of Donar did not vanish. In the centuries that followed, Donar's image transformed, merging with the myths of the Norse into Thor, the red-bearded thunder god of Scandinavia. The stories changed, but the essence remained. The mighty defender, a friend of humankind, the hammer-wielding protector of order. Even his name survived in the calendar. Donner's Day, or Donnerstag in Old High German, became Thursday, the day of the thunder god. Every time you check your schedule and see Thursday, you're still speaking the name of an ancient god. Donar was not the ruler of the gods. That title belonged to Wodan, or Odin, the wise and wandering Allfather. But among humans, Donar was loved more. He wasn't distant or mysterious. He was tangible, strong, and protective. When storms came, people prayed to Donar to spare their homes. When warriors went into battle, they carried charms shaped like his hammer for luck and courage. He was the everyman's god, not just of kings and heroes, but of farmers, travelers, and families who sought safety under his watchful eye. Donar's symbols appeared everywhere: the hammer, the oak, the lightning bolt. Archaeologists have found small hammer-shaped amulets worn by early Germanic people, not unlike the Thor's hammers of later Viking graves. These were not decorations but prayers in metal form, meant to invoke the god's strength and protection. Some legends tell of Donar battling monstrous serpents or striking down frost giants that threatened to freeze the world. Each tale reminded the people that thunder and lightning were not random forces of nature. They were the weapons of their protector. Even after his temples fell and his worship faded, Donar's spirit lingered in folklore. In some regions of Germany, thunder was still called Donar, and lightning, Donnerkeil, or Donner's wedge. Farmers would mark the sign of the hammer on their barns to ward off storms, and when thunder rolled across the sky, they would still say, Donar is driving his goats again. Today, Donar's name survives in language, in myth, and in the stories we tell. From the misty forests of old Europe to the pages of modern comics, his thunder still echoes. Donar was and remains a symbol of strength, courage, and endurance. The people of ancient Germany looked to him not just as a destroyer, but as a protector who kept the balance between order and chaos. And perhaps, when you hear the sky growl and see the lightning flash across the clouds, it's worth remembering that somewhere up there, the ancient thunderer still rides his chariot through the storm. The eternal god of thunder still speaks in every storm. For more Germanic and Norse tales, please subscribe